In the analog era, every medium carried its own fingerprints: film grain, tape hiss, vinyl crackles. These weren't flaws, but proof of presence. Evidence that a human hand or machine had touched and shaped it. A scratched record wasn't just broken. It was history in the making. As Nail Postman said, television is nothing less than a philosophy of rhetoric, one that demands we reconsider what counts as knowledge when the medium itself speaks. But now, AI can replicate these textures with eerie precision. Grain becomes a filter. Static is an effect. Even voice cracks are stylized choices. The leakages that once told us something was human are now simulated at scale, manufactured authenticities. We're left trying to decode real from faked, while the lines continue to blur until we no longer remember what was ever broken in the first place.
Those early systems were basically just giant calculators with vacuum tubes and no real storage, totally unreliable by today's standards.
In audio engineering, a tool called My Dehumanization adds random timing shifts to perfect machine beats. Because we hate mechanical perfection in music. It's not just about sound, but perception. A perfectly timed beat feels alien. One with slight wavers feels like a heartbeat. The irony is that the very inconsistencies we associate with humanity are now programmed into algorithms. What was once proof of human touch becomes a feature of artificial mimicry. The same logic applies to text. AI tools now inject typos and repetitive phrases, not as bugs, but as features. We trust a sentence more if it's slightly off, like we expect from tired. Real world thought processes. This is how authenticity becomes aestheticized, not inherent. It's no longer about what something says, but how it feels when you read it. Filters on social media do the same thing. They add grain, soften edges, and mimic Polaroid borders, not to replicate reality, but to evoke emotion. We don't want accurate color reproduction. We want nostalgia, intimacy, authenticity in a box. The filter is less about truth than trust, about how something makes us feel when it arrives. In this arms race for authenticity, deepfake detectors are no longer just observers, they're blueprints. They scan for subtle flaws, uneven skin tones, mismatched lip movements, or audio waveforms that don't sync perfectly with mouth shapes. These become the new vulnerabilities. And like any good weakness in a system, they're exploited. The next generation of AI forgeries, doesn't try to hide their humanity anymore. They refine those very imperfections until they look deliberately imperfect. Just this week, Gutenberg announced AI, Motion Studio, designed to make video content faster and more scalable in the streaming era. It's not about fakery at first glance. But what happens when every video you see is optimized for speed? You get a world of content that looks human, but was designed by algorithms to perform under scrutiny. This isn't just convenience. It's another layer added to an ever-growing authenticity industry. The tools we build to verify realness are now fueling the machinery that fakes it. The response. We create new authenticity artifacts, watermarks, voice prints, blockchain signatures. These are like digital fingerprints, meant to prove that something is real. But once again, the system creates a new front in the same war. Spoofers begin forging these very signals of trust too. What was supposed to be proof becomes another layer to decode and mimic. Authenticity isn't just slipping. It's being redefined by those who weaponize its own signs.
Electronics for combat use means new concepts, new tools, new weapons.
Once authenticity was tied to origin, handwritten letters, grainy film, the sweat on a musician's brow. But AI does not create in that lineage. It creates by copying and refining what came before. The result: a world where the artifact is more real than its source. In this realm of replication without memory, originality becomes obsolete. Even this essay is part of the cycle. It may have been written by a model trained on hundreds of thousands of human voices, mimicking their structure and quirks with terrifying precision. The repetition, a sign not of failure, but of authenticity. The stutter in language becomes proof that something real, something simulated, is speaking. The archive breaks. A recorded voice speaks over a black screen, describing how meaning is lost in translation between systems. Then the essay begins again, not as a new work, but as a rerun, a performance that could be real or fake, and who cares anymore? What has been maybe made again and again.